Today we're diving into a really cool idea that could totally flip engineering education on its head, making it way more collaborative, open, and tied to the real world than, well, pretty much ever before.
Seriously, just think about this for a second. What if every single student project, instead of just gathering dust on a shelf somewhere, actually became a building block for the next one? Like a living, breathing resource that other students from anywhere in the world could learn from, build on, and make even better. This one question, it's right at the heart of everything we're about to explore.
All right, so to really get why this new approach is so exciting, we first have to understand the problem it's trying to solve. Let's dig into some of the big challenges facing engineering education today. For a lot of students, engineering school can feel kind of stuck, It's often really heavy on lectures, a bit disconnected from what the industry actually needs, and let's be honest, often underfunded. And all of this leads to that same old story. Students pour their hearts into these amazing projects that have absolutely no life beyond the classroom. It's just a huge missed opportunity. Now, this slide is fascinating because it shows the real-life journey of a single engineering course at the University of Moratuwa, and it perfectly captures this move away from that old model. You can see the evolution so clearly. It starts with standard teacher-led problems, then it shifts to more open-ended challenges, then they start bringing in digital tools, and finally, they land on this new, collaborative, totally open-source approach. It just shows you the whole shift in thinking.
So this change isn't just happening in a bubble. Nope. It's part of a much bigger, global movement that's all built around the philosophy of open education. And at the heart of all this is a concept called Open Educational Resources, or OER. The idea is simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Just make learning materials free for everyone. It's about tearing down the barriers, the costs, the permissions, and democratizing knowledge so that anyone can use, change, and share content. And look, this isn't some new fringe idea. It's a huge, established movement. You've probably heard of some of these platforms, right? I mean, from MIT putting its entire course catalog online for free, to massive digital libraries like OER Commons, the groundwork for open, accessible education has been laid for years.
Okay, so we've got the problem of stale education on one hand and the promise of open resources on the other. And that brings us perfectly to the star of our show today, the Open eDesign platform.
So what is it? At its core, it's a digital space built for a very specific purpose. It takes all those awesome principles of open education and applies them directly to the engineering classroom, giving students the power to create and share their work in a way that's structured, organized, and accessible to everybody.
This is hands down the best way to get it. If you're familiar with how programmers use GitHub to work together on code, sharing versions, suggesting changes, and building on each other's work, that's exactly the spirit here. But instead of code, we're talking about engineering designs, project reports, and all the data that goes with them.
Okay, so we know what it is and we know why we need it. But how does it actually work? What does it look like in practice? Let's pop the hood and take a look inside.
The whole system is really held up by these 5 key pillars. First, you have student co-creation. That's where the teamwork happens. Then, there's Creative Commons licensing, which makes the sharing part legal and super easy. Next is open data integration, which is all about transparency. After that is feedback and iteration to make the projects better and better. And finally, capacity building, which is all about teaching people how to use these powerful new tools.
So if you're a student, the whole process is this active, ongoing loop. You don't just submit a final paper and walk away. You co-create projects with your peers. You actually choose an open license for your work. You include all your data so other people can check it and learn from it. And you get stuck into this cycle of feedback and improvement. It really changes you from just a passive learner into an active contributor.
This all sounds fantastic in theory, right? But what's the actual real-world impact? This is where it gets really exciting, because we get to see how this model is changing things for students and even for the wider community.
And you can see right away, this is not a closed system. These student projects are getting turned into high-quality video presentations and shared publicly on places like YouTube. So what used to be a classroom assignment is now a global learning resource that anyone with an internet connection can tap into.
This creates such a powerful mental shift for students. I mean, when you know your work is going to be seen by the whole world, not just your professor, it changes the game. It brings a whole new level of pride and accountability, and it just pushes them to create much, much better work.
And the benefits here go way beyond just one project. Students are building a really powerful modern set of skills. We're talking digital literacy, clear communication through video editing, and of course, applying engineering principles in a practical way. And maybe the most important thing, they're building a public digital portfolio they can actually show to future employers. These are the skills that matter today. And this isn't just a hypothetical idea. It's already up and running. The platform is currently home to 32 of these instructional videos and project reports. It's a small but growing library of knowledge created by students for everyone, and it proves that this model really works.
So where does this all go from here? What's the next step? Let's zoom out for a second and look at the big picture vision for this new way of learning and creating.
The vision here is so much bigger than just one university or one country. It's a blueprint for a truly global and inclusive platform, designed to build a worldwide network where ideas and solutions can just flow across borders without any friction.
This whole model is built to expand. The core idea is to create partnerships, especially in the Global South, so students there can contribute projects that solve their own pressing local problems. Then, someone on the other side of the world can take that design and adapt it for their local needs. The platform can even help students find ways to turn these ideas into actual products, all while training a whole new generation in these principles of open design.
So, let's end right back where we started, with a big question. By creating this shared open library of knowledge, we can finally stop reinventing the wheel over and over again. We can start building on what's already been done. It's a massive shift in how we think about progress. So, what problem would you solve if you could build on the work of thousands of students? What's possible then?